Hello and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. Today is Monday, August 7th, of 2017. My name is Pete Connor, your show's host. And we're on location today for both segments, both kind of nature segments. This time we're going to be at Koester, Prairie for our first segment, and then we're going to be going off to Big Woods over in Rice County for our second segment. As a reminder, we'd always like to remind you that if you have people who are in need of recognition, that you think we could help with that, why don't you let us know what their names are and what they're up to? Or if you've got an event that would also need some publicity, why don't you let us know that as well by giving us an email at owatonnatoday@charter.net or by calling the show's producer, Leanne Alt, at 390-5751. And now we're going to take a quick break for some messages from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back on location at Koester, Prairie, so please do stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltvet.
And I'm Dr. Nick Vincelli of Horizon Eye Care.
We want you to see what you love and love how you see. We're proud sponsors of the Owatonna Today Show.
It's fair time again, the 2017 Steele County Free Fair in Owatonna, Minnesota's biggest county fair, August 15th to the 20th. 40 thrilling rides on the Gold Star Midway. David Smith Jr. is back for 2 human cannonball shots daily on the Midway. 8 great grandstand shows, beer garden entertainment every day, free outdoor entertainment stages, over 100 food booths, and 300 indoor displays. Screamin' new with much to do. The 2017 Steele County Free Fair in Owatonna.
It's Leanne on the go for the Owatonna Today Show. I'm out here at Rice Lake State Park in one of their prairie areas. In today's show, we will be going to Koester Prairie in Rice County. It's a restored prairie that a farm family has been working on for the last couple of years. We will be joined by Emily Hutchins for the Minnesota DNR and Barbara Breaker, who works at the Carleton College Arboretum. So let's go to Koester Prairie.
It's fun to be able to show off what we're doing, although it's still fairly early in the restoration process. My siblings and I, let's see, Paul is over there and Todd is over there. We grew up across the way in the house there. We no longer own that, but we still own the land over here. Our family does. Our grandparents acquired the grassland over here back in the late 1930s. The area on the north half of the grassland, like the north 130 acres or so of grassland here, have the steeper parts have never been plowed. And there was a little bit of light cultivation and some flatter spots at the top, all pre-herbicide though. And then the southern part of it was cultivated some in the early 20th century. When my grandfather got it in like 1938 or so, there was wanted to preserve the whole thing for pasture, and so it's been grazed ever since the late 1930s. The whole thing. There was some brome grass and timothy and stuff, forage grasses that were seeded in over that period. So for the last, from like 1938 on till 1999 or so, it was fairly heavily grazed. And we didn't have any idea what we had out there in terms of native species and whatnot. Our parents died late 90s. There was a little bit of light grazing with some neighbors and a cousin of ours, but then after a while the grazing kind of fell off and we needed to figure out what to do with it. Gene Bauer, who is at Carleton College, avid birder, had been birding out here since the 1990s, and he gave me, contacted me and said, hey, what's happening with that property? It's one of the best bird areas in the county, if not the best in the county. And he put me in touch with some people with the DNR who started doing plant surveys out there. They found some really great pockets of native species, and one thing led to another. And so over the last couple of years, we've worked to put an easement, a conservation easement on the northern part, which has got the best native prairie, and still trying to figure out how to preserve the southern half for conservation as well. But right now there's about 250 acres of unbroken grassland here with some really the best native prairie on the northern part, and then seeded over stuff on the south. But Emily will talk some about the management stuff that we've been doing, but we're delighted that we're making this kind of progress for conservation.
I handed out a few maps. Please look on with someone else if you don't have a map. You'll see we have broken up the property into, I think it was A, B, C, D, E, 5 different units. That's mainly for management purposes, and so we've conducted some prescribed burns already. Last year we burned A, B, those are the two. There's a small island here, a small island out in the field here, and then A, B, and D, I think, on the eastern portion, that long arm that sticks out. You'll see area C is highlighted in yellow. That's what we just had burned this year, which is right out here in front of us. So we're also doing quite a bit of invasive species work. Once the cattle were pulled off, and that was the landowner's decision to not have it grazed anymore. But grazing certainly can be part of a management regime. Decided to pull the cattle off, and then we did see kind of a flush of invasive species, so we're managing those now with mowing and some herbicide application. Some of the biggest issues are the wild parsnip. It's really, we've been right on top of it, but it just seems every year there's more and more seed germinating, especially after the burn. We're also managing, there's some Queen Anne's lace. It's also called wild carrot. There are some thistle patches. A lot of the thistle here is actually native thistle, so there's not a whole lot of Canada thistle, which is the biggest problem in our thistles. But so pretty restricted Canada thistle. Small amounts of sweet clover, which compared to the other ones is not a real huge concern, but it can spread. Anything else?
No, I'm eager to. We had a crew out here working all week on wild parsnip, so I'm hoping to see virtually
nothing.
nothing.
Up the hill here to the Koester Prairie. There's quite a number of people that have joined us today. It's kind of hot and muggy. We all have water, sunscreen, long pants, and hats. There's a nice population of milkweed here growing on the hillside. Milkweed is very beneficial to monarch butterflies. They lay their eggs. When the eggs hatch, the caterpillars eat the milkweed before then they go into forming their chrysalis.
Porcupine grass, or sometimes called needle and thread grass. Because this was burned this year, there's no seed heads on it. This is one of our, they're called cool season grasses because they do most of their growing in the early part of the year when it's cooler. So a lot of our non-native grasses like brome and timothy are also cool season grasses, but there's a few group of native grasses that are cool season. And it's got kind of coarse leaves if you feel it, and the seed head has a very big seed and a long structure on it called an awn, and it often, people complain about it because it kind of works its way into your socks or into the mouths of cattle or dogs or whatever, but it's really a beautiful grass. The seed head will be really high on a long stalk up here, and it has this mechanism to actually plant itself. It falls into the ground near its mother plant, and this long awn takes up water and gives off water as the humidity changes, and it twists and it drills itself down into the ground. So it's just a really fascinating mechanism for replanting itself. Because their vegetation is really prickly, or for other reasons do really well under a grazing situation. It's considered kind of an unusual plant, or a little rarer in prairies that are not grazed, because it doesn't do as well with a lot of competition. So the botanical name, which I am still using the old botanical name because I can't remember what the botanist changed it to, Anismodium mole. What's its common name?
Marble seed, or false Cromwell.
So come on over and feel it. It's really stiff and has a lot of hairs on it. And so the cattle just do not like to eat it. So it really tends to increase. And these are the flowering stalks from last year. And in each of those little bracts would have been a white seed, which is really, really hard. So that's how it got the name marble seed.
And they're pretty big and round too.
You do get a very good view up here on this Koester Prairie step of the surrounding countryside here in Rice County. This is what the top of the prairie looks like. It was burned in May. They do a burn off to help germinate more seeds, to get rid of some of the small shrubs that you see in the distance from growing. So the grasses aren't quite as tall as they normally would be. It's a beautiful sight.
So Delphinium is the genus, and you can see this one is in seed. It almost looks like a columbine seed. Yeah. And this one is in flower. Normally they would be blooming much earlier than this, but because of the burn, many things are in the burn unit are blooming later than usual.
Yeah, that one is usually done by now.
And it's called Larkspur?
Prairie larkspur.
Prairie larkspur.
Like a delphinium, if you go to the flower shop, they'll have delphiniums that are dark purple. This is like a native
really
version.
big.
Yeah.
But I see there's more over there. There's another one over there. There's quite a bit.
This prairie plant that you're looking at right now is called fragrant bedstraw. And people would actually pick not this type of bedstraw, but other larger bedstraw and use them to stuff mattresses and pillows. It's a very nice fragrance. Here's another view of this partially restored prairie grassland. If you hear that little zit, zit in the background, that's a grasshopper sparrow. He's right here in this bush. Don't know if you'll be able to see him too well. There he is. It's a bird that nests here in the prairie. He's collecting food, so he has babies somewhere. Here's a great collection of a prairie flower. This is called prairie vervain. The flowers come up on a stalk. And there's a lot of this intersprinkled here in this particular prairie. This is a great little prairie plant. You find it throughout most of southern Minnesota and up into central Minnesota. It is called wild bergamot. And it's really reminiscent of, the way the petals are reminiscent of flowers that people have in their garden referred to as, well, my mom used to call them Raggedy Ann. I hope you enjoyed those snippets from the Koester Prairie tour. When we come back from break, we'll be heading out to Nerstrand Big Woods State Park. Please stay with us.
Amy Swain Hearing Centers is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better.
Recreational fires are allowed within the Owatonna city limits. They must be contained within a fire pit or a device designed for such use, and can be 3 feet in diameter and no more than 3 feet high. They must be 25 feet from a building or combustibles. Only untreated or unpainted woods must be used. Fires must be attended by a person at all times that are capable of extinguishing the fire. This has been a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, I'm Betsy Linger from the Owatonna Foundation. Your generosity has made Owatonna a better place to live by benefiting our community, the arts, recreation, and education. Please consider a donation today. The Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
At Triumph Graphics, we think beyond ink. That's why you should make us your source for creative concept, design, print, mail, and web. Check us out today at triumphgraphics.com.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
It's Leanne on the go for the Owatonna Today show, and as part of our summer series of taking you to places close by and far away, I thought I'd take you to a state park that maybe you haven't been to before. It's called Nerstrand Big Woods State Park, and it's really only a little more than 30 miles away from Owatonna. It's a great park, great drive to it, especially if you take the back roads. You take the back roads out of Faribault. And actually this state park is one that is the remnants of the Big Woods. And the Big Woods covered a portion of the southern part of the state of Minnesota. And a lot of it was cleared to make way for the farm fields that we see today. There's a lot of things to see and do here in Nerstrand Big Woods State Park, so let's take a look. The park itself was established by the state legislature in around 1945. As it is with many state parks, a group of citizens got together to preserve this remnant of the Big Woods that was still left in the state of Minnesota at that time. We thank them for their diligent work and their forethought in saving this gem of a state park in southern Minnesota. The park is open year-round and has multi-uses, as you can see here from the sign. Hiking in the summer, cross-country skiing in the winter. Big Woods State Park has a large picnic area, easily accessible from the parking lot. It's a great place to share a lunch with friends. Nice wide expanse. Nerstrand Big Woods State Park has a campground. It has 52 campsites, some electric, some non-electric. The nice thing about this campground that most state park campgrounds do not have is that there are water hookups for each of the electric sites. Big Woods State Park is given its name because the trees that you see here in the park are part of the last remnants of the Big Woods that stretched around this part of Minnesota. You have a lot of basswood, a lot of maple trees, and this park is beautiful in the fall for fall color. Ironwood trees, all trees that you would see in the Big Woods. They're very tall, provide a lot of canopy, and then down on the forest floor, in the springtime you see many, many different kinds of wildflowers. And we'll show you some of those wildflowers right now that you would see here in the spring. The park has a number of hiking trails within it. Most of them are not too long, loops of a mile to maybe a mile and a half. Topography can be, in certain areas of the park, quite hilly though. So make sure when you come here to do some hiking that you wear some sturdy shoes. These trails are not amenable to flip-flops. One of the great features of Big Woods State Park is this great waterfall here coming off of Prairie Creek. The waterfall runs over bedrock limestone, and over the years the waterfall has retreated as the limestone erodes and breaks off into the creek, as you can see here. We're downstream a ways from the falls itself, and you can see all of the broken pieces of limestone. Eons ago, this was actually a shallow ocean, and the sediment and the pressure created the limestone topography that you see here today at the Big Woods State Park outside of Nerstrand. Here's a different perspective of the falls from up above. And the bottom of Prairie Creek itself, at least up here, is all limestone. A little bit of sand mixed in. Makes a beautiful pattern. Taking some video of a redstart warbler who is feeding a nestling cowbird. Cowbirds are parasitic birds. They lay their eggs in other birds' nests. They let the other birds incubate and hatch the eggs, and then those poor birds that are the parents have to feed the cowbirds. And look at this difference in size between the cowbird and the redstart warbler. It's amazing. This poor redstart warbler's been working his little tail feathers off. Here we go. Here's a picture talking about the brown-headed cowbirds, the parasitic birds. If you look at the nest on the right, you'll see two light blue, brown speckled eggs, and then a smaller egg next to it. What the cowbird will do is come to a nest where the parent isn't, and will throw out one of the eggs or a couple of the eggs of the host bird and then lay their own. And as you could see in the case of the American redstart, the cowbird baby grows a lot faster than the redstart babies. And then the parents have to spend all of their time, because he's bigger and stronger and more demanding, the parents spend all of their time feeding the cowbird baby, and their babies pass away from lack of food and attention. One of the birds that you'll see here in the state park is this red-headed woodpecker. We'll pull out just a little bit. Red-headed woodpeckers used to be quite abundant in southern Minnesota, and now you don't see them as often. That's because of their loss of habitat. They're cavity nesters in dead trees. And you know, for a long, long time, a lot of our telephone poles were wooden. Now they're slowly being replaced with metal poles. So they've really declined in numbers, at least in this part of the state. So it's really a rare treat to see a red-headed woodpecker. And the best part at the end of the day at the state park is a campfire. We hope you've enjoyed your tour of Nerstrand Big Woods State Park. Thanks for coming along on the trip.
Hi, my name is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance. We're here to handle all your insurance needs. We are a very proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. It's time for some community announcements. Habitat for Humanity of Steele-Waseca area invites the community to show your support and dine in or carry out on Monday, August 7 and Tuesday, August 8th at Buffalo Wild Wings. Inform your server that you are dining on behalf of Habitat for Humanity, and 10% of all pre-tax sales will be donated through the Eat Wings Raise Funds program. For more information about Habitat for Humanity of Steele-Waseca area, make a donation or register as a volunteer. Visit their website at www.habitatswa.org. Movie in the Park Friday, August 11th at Central Park, rain date August 12th. Take in the stunning Scotland scenery and the heartwarming mother-daughter Princess Tale with the movie Brave. That will be on, again, August 11th with a rain date of August 12th in Central Park. The Iowa-Minnesota Pirate Festival upcoming August 12th and 13th of 2017, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., rain or shine. Free parking, and it will be at Morehouse Park, and there will be live entertainment, some history issues or demos, children's activities, food, drinks, treats, a new thing for Owatonna, being sponsored partly by Owatonna Park and Rec. We also have participate in the 14th annual Strive Wellness 5K run and 1.5 mile fitness walk on Saturday, August 19th at Owatonna High School. The event is co-sponsored by Owatonna Noon Rotary Club, Owatonna Hospital, part of Alina Health, and Owatonna High School. Proceeds from the Strive, students taking a renewed interest in the value of education. A wellness run provides scholarship to high school students participating in Owatonna Rotary Strive Mentor Program. And the Strive Mentor Program matches a student who needs encouragement throughout his or her senior year with a Rotary member mentor. Be registered for the 5K run and the 1.5 mile walk by August 16th to take advantage of the reduced $25 registration fee, and you can do that also online at strive.owatonna-rotary-club, all one word, strive.owatonna-rotary-club.org. Owatonna Early Edition Rotary Club will be hosting a corn feed on Tuesday, August 29, 2017 at Owatonna Eagles Club from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The cost is $9 and kids 6 and under are free. The menu will feature sweet corn, chicken breast, bun, potato salad, cookie, and a beverage. Free delivery for orders of 5 meals or more is available. Proceeds will benefit the Patriot Skies 4th of July fireworks, kindergarten book donation at the Dolly Parton Imagination Library project. Tickets are available from any member of Early Edition Rotary Club and at the door. The public is welcome to nominate an individual for Culture Fest Ambassador Award to the person who best illustrates the core values of Culture Fest. For an official application form, please visit our website at www.culturefest.org, or you might also write a letter nominating the person of your choice and mail it to P.O. Box 1015-1015 in Owatonna. Call Laura Wessler at 456-7738 with any questions. And that's going to do it for today. Please tune in on Wednesday when we will have with us Dr. Simon Middle, who is going to be talking about the conversation we need to have for end-of-life issues. So please come back for that. And thanks again for being with us, and look forward to seeing you back on Wednesday.